You'll note Rex Tillerson getting a $180 million payday in terms of stock that's vesting as a function of this into his role in government. You happy about that? Unhappy about that? There's lots of debate about those type of payments on the way out.
That is, as Andrew, as you know, is a huge issue, and we actually could fill the rest of the show, bore people to death, but fill the rest of the show talking about how the governisters are upset about any kinds of these accelerated payments. The idea of this kind of vesting is that it's a retention issue and it's an earning issue. You have to stay in there to quite earn it. He's not quite there, but he would be retiring this spring anyway as a mandatory retirement. So the acceleration, which is not purely for retention, because he would have been out of there and some of this would have been vested. It's the idea, though, there's some conflict about how the trust is going to be handled, but I don't know how much you want to go into that right now, but there's some issue just about how...
I'm just asking the broader question, are you happy or unhappy as a governance expert that executives who are leaving to go into government are often having their stock vested on the way out, which is atypical relative to what would happen if you went into a job either at another company or even into public service if you decide you want to be a professor or a teacher or do something else?
I think when you take another job, it's a bad idea to get accelerated payments that are based on a vested time schedule. In this case, since he's retiring very soon anyway, it isn't that we're paying him for service he's not given us. There's a different reason behind this. It has to do with tax issues. So I'm not that upset about that. I think the tougher questions he'll get will have to do about the League of Friendship, whatever award from Putin and some of these other things. But
that's like back to the awards from yesterday. The Journal has a big piece on what we need to know about Tillerson, and the first half of the article is this very cloak and dagger situation where an operative a Putin associate was assassinated over in Moscow, and it implies there had to be 15 people that were involved because there were cameras shut down, and we got to ask Rex Tillerson about that, presumably because he got an award from Putin, I guess. Is that what we're going to hear with Tillerson, or is it going to be all climate change alarmism all the time?
There'll be some on climate change. I think that that Exxon has changed their positions publicly on climate change, and they're not, I think, as an obstructionist on where the science is uncontroversial on that. However, I think when it comes to Russia, there are some tough issues just about his positions on sanctions, which will come up. And frankly, the headlines yesterday, of course, create much more of an elevated concern. Much more of a shadow is cast on this. It's, I think it was Louis Brandeis who had always said that sunlight is the best disinfectant, and I do think that whatever Trump does at 11 o'clock, President-elect Trump does in his press conference at 11 o'clock could be very helpful or damaging to the Tillerson clearance, because a lot of the issues are going to shift from the conflicts, the financial conflicts of interest, to what's going on the Russian issues. You know, it was, I think it was the old comedian Yakov Smirnoff who said people are surprised when they hear that there are political comedians in Russia. They're there. They're all dead, but they are there.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.